Okay, folks, welcome to our post-trade review of our short of the semiconductor sector. We've been measuring the semiconductor sector by using the ETF SMH, and the vehicle that we used to short the semiconductor sector was the SOXS, which was a leveraged product putting you short of the semiconductor space. Now, we booked profits on the 17th of July for over 15%, 15.5%. I have my performance link below on YouTube, linked above on Twitter, and you can check out the performance that we have in addition to my other videos on other trades that we've done. So in this video, what we're going to talk about is the why behind the short of the semiconductor space. How did we know to get short of the semiconductor space when everybody else was bullish? And I can share with you folks, it's not just about charts. I get emails, I get comments all the time on social media that pertain specifically to chart. And charts matter a lot. I mean, I'm a technician at heart. I could draw lines and look for divergences all day long. I love to do it. It is a passion. That being said, we also need to understand the structure of the market. Do we have more stocks making all-time highs versus breaking down below their 50-day moving average? Do we have geopolitical risk out there, such as the war in the Middle East? And what is that doing to the probability of the Federal Reserve increasing interest rates? Well, that's what we were watching. We were watching the fact that the price of oil was moving up higher with May inflation data that was pretty hot and heavy, causing the probability of interest rate hikes in September, October, and December to move up measurably. Now, those are all risks to the market. In addition, you can take a look at this chart here where you have the EWY. What's the EWY? This is the South Korean ETF. Why does that matter to our short? It matters a lot because there's something called the KOSPI. That is the name of the South Korean stock market. There are two stocks, SK Hynix and Samsung, that make up more than 50% of the entire stock market. How did that happen? It happened because the semiconductor names over in South Korea had gone parabolic. How did that happen? They went parabolic due to the fact that you had the retail investor heavily margined and buying leveraged ETFs to get long of the semiconductor space. Just this past week, you had a 1.2 million person margin call over in South Korea. The South Korean stock market is at current in free fall. But when we got short, the South Korean stock market was trading above its 4 standard deviation Bollinger Band on a quarterly time frame. Folks, it's not supposed to be there. It's mathematically and it's statistically impossible to hold that level. And this is an entire stock market. So we knew that it was absolutely unsustainable for that rally to hold. And at some point in time, despite all the bulls coming on to CNBC and Fox Business News, touting that this is the new paradigm of the semiconductor space, the memory names are the new NVIDIA. These are commodities. These are commodity chips, and they have boom and bust cycles. And when you hear people saying it's different this time, well, listen up, because it's never, ever different this time. And when you hear a professional come on TV and say it's different this time, that's the time to start looking to get short. So you have geopolitical risk in the Middle East. You had the South Korean stock market going parabolic. You had interest rates rising, oil rising, record high margin debt over in South Korea and here in the United States. And when you take a look at the leading name in the US memory market, Micron Technologies, it too was trading above its 4 standard deviation Bollinger Band. Let me put that into context for you. When you use your Bollinger Bands that comes with your charting software, it's a 2 standard deviations, default setting. It's the standard. So let me do this. I'm going to change this to a 2 standard to show you the difference. This is how far above the norm that we were. Again, it always comes back to the word unsustainable. The other macro event that was happening was that you had the hyperscalers coming out and they were issuing new stock, diluting their stock, thus underperforming the rest of the market. Then you had SpaceX come public. That added more demand for SpaceX stock, taking away from the hyperscalers, taking away from the very, very frothy semiconductor names. And then you had, I'll call it the Pimp Mac Daddy of all tells, that we are at a speculative top. And that was the offering of SK Hynix, which is a South Korean company, already public in South Korea. And they're coming public here in the United States. They've already done it. That was about 2 weeks ago. And at first, the stock went up, and then it went down. And now for the final, real Pimp Mac Daddy reason as to why I knew that we were going from watching the semiconductor space moving up higher to having the air come out of the bubble. It was the earnings date of June the 24th of Micron Technologies. Now, Micron Technologies, you can see here, I'll go to a daily chart. This day here was their earnings report. And when I tell you, having been short of the semiconductor space, when I heard their earnings report on the 24th, I was a bit concerned about my short. Why? It's because I have never, in the history, and I've been doing this a long time, in the history of my trading career, I have never heard of a better earnings report. They beat on revenues. They beat on earnings. Their forward-looking guidance went through the roof with 91% forward-looking margins. And then something happened. They announced on the 24th. The following day, there was no follow-through. It failed. Then we continued to weaken up, a little bit of a bear flag setup, and then failure. That's when I knew that we were on the right side of the trade, because it was very much like the NVIDIA earnings on the 20th of May when they reported gangbuster earnings, gangbuster forward-looking guidance here, right here, May the 20th of 2026. Following day, attempted rally, rejection, and a double top, confirmation breakdown. NVIDIA was out of the game well before the memory stocks topped out. So now you're looking at NVIDIA, which has been weak, breaking support levels. These are the automated trend lines on TrendSpider. Micron, well off of all-time highs now, which brings us to the SMH. Now, the SMH, here's the quarterly chart. I'm going to bring back the 4 standard deviation Bollinger Bands for a moment for illustrative purposes. You know, we didn't tap it, but we came close enough for government work. What also happened in June was that you had, in the options market, there was a lot of bullish sentiment, and the market makers kept having to go out and buy stock or futures to balance out their book, because they don't just sell you a call option and then go naked with it, because they're on the other side of that trade. They have to hedge their book. So the minute they sell you a call, they have to go into the options market and balance out their book, so they're not at risk. So that causes what you call a gamma squeeze. Now, in the case of the options expiration monthly for OPEX for June, you had a massive gamma squeeze to the upside in the semiconductor names. And that ultimately proved to be the top. And as we moved into the new quarter, the new month, then you had a different playing field. That gamma risk was no longer there. And on Friday, yesterday, when we closed out the short of the SMH, it was another options expiration day. However, it was bearish. So what I did in the pre-market yesterday morning and on a couple of the market wraps, I said, if we get down into the 550s on the SMH, we need to close out our positions, because we don't know whether or not these support levels are going to hold, and if we're going to get a rip your face off bounce and we lose some of our profits, maybe all of our profits. So we had a strategy going into this Friday that if we saw a 550 handle on the SMH, first out, best out, book profits, enjoy your weekend, have a great day, because again, you don't know whether or not they are going to gap the shares up higher off the lows of the pre-market session, and then, you lost your edge. So what we did is we didn't get out at the lows of the session. We didn't get short at the highs. That's not the game plan. What we do is we add when the market tells us we think that we're right, when the structure of the market makes sense, when you have all the variables that I said that we put into play, analyzed and said, okay, here are the threats to the market. Now, are they appearing on the chart? The answer across the board was yes. It was just a matter of time before there was a rug pull. And Micron's earnings were the rug pull. The addition of new stock, SpaceX, which is currently trading below its IPO price, is another tell that the overall market is very, very tired. The fact that they're bringing all of these companies public or issuing new stocks for existing publicly traded companies is a sign. It's a historical sign that you're at a speculative peak in the market and they're dumping into the retail investor. Don't let yourself be the bag holder. You're going to listen to CNBC. You're going to listen to bulls and bears. They're going to tell you buy, buy, buy. Earnings have never been better. But it's the charts that matter. Don't let them take parking space up in your head. The news may be good, but if the charts aren't validating the news and you're seeing news flow go like this, bullish, yet the price action of a chart of a stock or index that you're watching going the opposite direction, the market's sending you signals. It's telling you it's a tired market. Whatever news is out there is priced in or it's a lie. So folks, I hope you got some value out of this. Make sure you leave a comment below. We have a great 14-day $9 gold pass. You get TrendSpider included with that trial membership. You get all my alerts, commentary, etc. And if you're not ready yet, that's fine. You don't know me, that's great. Head on over, at least join up for the free level membership. We go live every Sunday night. We do stock chart requests. If you're a free level member, enter your symbols in the ticker cloud in the members area. I'll review your symbols. You'll also be able to watch our unlocked commentary. That's premium to members. And you're able to take a peek behind the curtain to see what our members are seeing. So please, hope to see you on the other side. Make sure you join us Sunday Night Futures Live. Like, subscribe. You know the deal. Have a great remainder of your weekend. Be well.